Hi, this is the weekend Kaleidoscope from April 10th to the 13th. So this is actually an extended weekend for the long weekend. Happy Easter, Passover, if you so celebrate. Hopefully you've been having a good weekend. Though I'm saying this is kind of the energies from Friday to Monday, there's some really big energies in play right now. So, I mean, this is really kind of describing a process, and depending on where you are on the process, depending on how easily you accept the process, okay, this can take longer to play out. Now, granted, given these type of energies, this is a really significant time, both for us individually on the kind of like that micro level, but also on the macro level in terms of us as a society and as a world and how we really want to move forward. Okay, this is ultimately the turning point, the judgment day in biblical sense. And so what we really have here is what I have showing on the screen is the Aeon. And so this is actually the judgment card in a traditional tarot deck. They're ultimately the same energies, but I do really like it in this deck, this is the Patch Tarot by Spirit Science, Jordan River. This is my favorite upon favorite deck, and I've had a lot of people ask about it. So I really like how he depicts the judgment card here. But basically, this is a major arcana. So this is a major life energy force. It will take longer to play out. This time period that we're going through really has the ability to, well, sorry, not the ability, it will impact you moving forward in the future. And so with this being judgment or the Aeon, it really is about making that decision. Okay, so this is, kind of like that passage through the gates of time. Okay, this is, okay, with this image, you can kind of see on the bottom where that is the earth. Okay, and this is kind of you or the individual or whatever, and it's ascending. Okay, and so us as the earth, okay, we're at a major, turning point. You can kind of see that at the bottom. This is actually like earth kind of in ruin. But then you have somebody who's ascending up until the next dimension. And kind of like, as we focus on ourselves, as we raise our own vibration, we take others with us, we inspire others. Okay, and now this is ultimately a lot to do with karma. Okay, so when we think about kind of what's going on right now, this is justice. This is the right thing that's happening. This is the balancing of the scales. Okay, if things are starting to, I know it can be hard to, to think about it if things are starting to really fall down, but I mean, ultimately it's falling down so that you can build, the right way, so that you can actually reach your dreams. Like, what has been holding you back? And so this is that opportunity. This is that, again, that point of no return. It's like, do you go through the gate? Okay, I have to talk a little bit about the major arcanas. Okay, so there are, in a standard tarot deck, there are 78 cards, 78 energies, and they represent kind of the ups and downs of everyday life, as well as the larger spiritual lessons that we all kind of go through on a collective level, both on many individual ways, but also as, again, a society or as a world, or as and so judgment or the Aeon. Okay, this is number 21. You can see like the rumineurs at the top. Okay, so there are 22 major arcanas. When you're at 21, okay, you are at the beginning of the end, basically, and you're at that point. It's like, do you like, okay, the journey always kind of starts with the Fool. Okay, you're taking that leap, you're like, that brand new baby, that everything is gonna be okay, and then you go through the process. We've seen a couple of major arcanas this week and things like that, until you get to the judgment. And then after the judgment is the world, which is like a complete finish of the cycle and the new birth that comes after that. Okay, so when you're at the judgment, okay, you're reflecting. Okay, it's like, have I learned anything? Like, yes, this was a long journey. This is a lot of things that suggest that, like, this could have been, stuff you've been going through for the last 2.5 years. It could be long. There's a whole slew of significance with this right now. Okay, but it's about kind of like remembering that past, forgiving yourself, okay, for mistakes that you might have made, like ultimately that mistakes, and learning from them and doing actions to make sure that they don't repeat, okay, is growth. That is how we learn, okay? And so it's about forgiving yourself, forgiving others, okay, and affirming the lessons that you've gained along the way, okay? So it's like, if you've learned your lessons, this leads you ultimately to the world, celebration, graduation, the level up, okay? If you're into video games, this is, like right now, this is your boss battle. Okay, this is your final boss battle. Okay, but once you beat that, you get your experience points and you level up and you go to the next level. Okay, if you don't beat the boss, you may not get your experience points and you may have to do this whole level again with the same lessons and the same, trials. And so we are going through this both, kind of like as like an individual level, I would imagine. I think everybody is, but also as a society. And the interesting thing is that, okay, what is also inherent in this card too is about how, we shape our environment and our environment shapes us. Okay, so you can think about what's going on in the world right now with coronavirus and things like that. And it's forcing us to adapt. It's forcing us to, show compassion to each other. It's forcing us to like rewrite some of the things that we've held true forever. Maybe not forever, but at least things that like society and this world, we've gone too off course. Okay, that there is a balancing. Okay, justice is coming through. People are getting their karma. Okay, and now the thing is, okay, it's about, as we each individually keep choosing our true path, okay, our happiness, okay, we see that challenge and we're going to step right through it because we know that that is true in our heart. Okay, the more we do it, the more it encourages others to do it, the more that others do it, okay, the more it's just a ripple effect, and it really just raises the vibration of our whole planet. And we are at a turning point in society, okay, like too much imbalance, too much injustice, okay? So it's like, what do we do as a society, okay? And it's like, there is no turning back. And again, what this means for you on a individual level is completely up to you. It's like, this can be a smaller, everyday kind of judgment, like, I don't know, I'm not going to give an example right now. You would know kind of like, what have you been deciding about? Because there's been something like, good on you. I'm proud of you. Like, I've been, tracking these energies over the last week, and it seems like a lot of you, especially any of you who have been drawn to these very high vibrational cards, okay, you are doing the work. Okay, you are facing those fears. You're looking deep within your soul and kind of be like, what makes me happy? What is true to me? And the truth of the matter is that if you follow your heart, if you are true to you, if you always choose love over fear every step of the way, you will not go wrong. Okay, the puzzle pieces will fit together, and you will be able to kind of like, Anyways, so this is, okay, what we have for, this was the energy for ultimately Friday, okay? But again, this is huge energy here, okay? This is, both an individual decision, okay? This is about acknowledging that, okay, yes, these were tough times, okay? To get to the judgment, you would have had to go through hell and back, okay? But you did it. Okay, and it's about doing that last steps to really like affirm those lessons. Okay, see, the memories live with you, but this is a point where they no longer have hold of you. Okay? And so it really is up to you, but ultimately, like, what happens if you step through that portal? Okay? If you, progress, okay? It really it's going to bring a whole new level. This is an ending of a chapter. Okay. And what we had for, I might go back to this, I'm not sure, but like what we had for Saturday is the Nine of Cups. Okay, look at this. Look, we have Patch here. She's just, completely content. Okay, what about the Nine of Cups is about that personal fulfillment. Okay, she is love. She radiates love. Okay, it is about everything perfect in the moment. Okay, now, but a little bit about happiness and the things like that and joy. Like, this is about personal happiness. Okay, this is letting those emotions, that love, flow through you and out of you. And especially, I'm going to talk about it in a second, but I mean, the sun comes out afterwards for Sunday. And it's just like, so there's a process. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scream there. Hopefully I can do some editing. Okay. But there's a process going on no matter how fast or slow. I mean, everyone's on their own pace. Okay. Everything will happen in divine timing. It's about being in the flow. Okay. She's there sitting there allowing things to flow. Okay. And just really being in joy, of the experience that like, just that everything is so, okay? Ultimately, one of the things with the Nine of Cups is, okay, it's about ultimately dreams coming true, okay? And it's not just that these dreams are possible, but actually probable if you cultivate, these light and happy feelings, if you embody this happiness. Okay, so it does seem like, as we each kind of go through the process of, choosing what is right for us, of course, not everybody can come with us. Of course we would love it, but I mean, we are all on our personal journey, and if we all stay on that path, the right people will come, okay? It is unfair to all parties involved, okay? If you are not true to yourself, okay? You change yourself, you change the world, okay? Like in the sense of how you perceive, so we go back to this Nine of Cups, okay? This is that, again, that embodying of that, complete perfection of everything is right, everything is happening, for the right reasons. Okay, it is allowing, the emotional flow to kind of course through, the entire body of your consciousness. Okay, and then ultimately that does attract, like it is kind of like accepting that love is the supreme truth. Even like things that might be upsetting, okay, is like really outweighed by the sheer beauty of everything in the world. Okay, and so all you have to do is say yes. Okay, you just need to say yes to the moment, yes to the feeling, and yes to loving yourself. Okay, it does come from within, especially when we see the Sun card. Like, this is kind of like radiating, that joy, that love onto others. Okay, so this is a really exciting time, and it is all about, though, too, a bit about expectation. Okay, so the one thing about potentially happiness, okay, is that if you're expecting one thing to happen, but then you're closing your ideas off to something else or anything, you're not allowing the magic of the world. Okay, the universe will bring you exactly what you need if you open your eyes to it. Okay, if you don't self-sabotage yourself. Okay, so it is about what brings you happiness, like you personally. Okay, this Nine of Cups, what becomes that is the Ten of Cups. Sorry, what comes after is the Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups is that like happily ever after, that that wishes coming true, usually with another, with family, kind of thing. But the Nine of Cups, that is complete fulfillment within yourself. Okay, so there is a process, again, no matter how long it takes you to do this, okay, about judging, like not judging in the sense of like, not, nothing's good or bad. Like everything is exactly what it needs to be. Okay. So it's almost like, releasing a lot of a judgment, but deciding what is right for you, what will make you in this personal, like, look how happy she is, what will do that. Okay. And then once you find that happiness within yourself, like what we did have come out for Sunday was the sun again. We had the sun come out last week as well. And so again, that is, your chakras being aligned. Okay. Like we have all the zodiacs around there as well. Okay. And this is like, just pure joy. This is the happiest energy. This is another major arcana, okay? So, I mean, we have, if you do that, if you step through that portal, okay, there's a whole world of opportunities ahead of you, okay? And this is the end of a chapter. Okay, and what we had going into Monday, I'm just going to show, because I mean, like, I love how this deck kind of, when I start putting a spread out, they can like tell me, other ideas, like, or other, I don't know what the word is, but you can kind of see like, okay, you have the, the rays and, the sun and the, the joy of the sun leading right into, you can see right there, like the, how it goes into the page of Pentacles, okay? In this deck, it's the Page of Discs or the Princess of Discs, okay? But it's the same kind of thing. And this is earthy earth, okay? So this is about tangible. This is about the things in the material world. She could have a message, okay? So there might be a message you need to give somebody, or a message that you might, come across in the material world, okay? But this is about, okay, so okay, in the sense of the court cards, okay, she is, the more of the newer of the energies, okay, so this is earth energies, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, okay, so she just went through all the lessons from the Ace to the 10, the hard, the joys, everything like that, okay, she is the most, studious of all the kind of pages, okay, if you have a child, this could be like relating to a child that's significant in your life that might give, but I mean, this is though, you can see the mountains behind, okay, and so she's just gone through all those mountains, all those challenges, and now she has this great opportunity, this great pentacle, okay? All aces, for example, are opportunities, but you have to take it, okay? You need to jump at it, okay, or it's gone. Like, yes, other opportunities will come, but not this one, or whatever the case is, and so she has it. She's gone through the challenges, and she's like, I'm gonna make something of it, okay? So she is excited to kind of, put the pedal to the metal, and walk the talk, okay? So I mean, this is a whole process. Like, I can kind of see how it goes, in the sense of, if you're making, judgments and decisions kind of thing, it's like, you might have decided what would make you happy, so you're actually like, okay, this will make me really happy, I gotta do this, but it's still kind of emotional, and then you're starting to, like, because you're so happy, it's affecting your world, it's affecting those around you, okay? But it's like going into, like, that next step is like, okay, you can't just think about it anymore. It's like you have to make things happen, Again, could be a message, okay? This could be a gift. This could be telling you to embrace more of nature. And again, there's a lot of things that suggest here that, there's been a lot of challenges, okay? And it can be about grounding yourself again, starting from, you might have to start from the beginning again. Or the fact that you are already starting in the beginning, okay? With the Page of Pentacles, okay? She's not a, she's not a knight, she's not a queen, she's not a king. Okay, so she's still, a little bit of that immature. This is all new, okay, but it's exciting. Okay, and so you have the power, okay, and everything going on right now is like basically just encouraging it. It's like, take this opportunity. Like, one of the things I found out, I'm going to highlight quickly, is that, okay, there's some major energies happening right now in the world, and especially when it comes to Saturn and conjunctions, and especially, so the last time these things have happened, okay, right now we're discovering about Corona. The last time it happened, we discovered about HIV/AIDS. The last time before that was polio. The last time before that was, I think, smallpox. The last time before that was like cholera. Okay, if we think about all these viruses, diseases, or anything about that, our whole society had to adjust every single time of these. Okay, like let's think about the more recently about HIV and AIDS. Okay, the whole how we relate in, like, say, sex or relations completely changed. Okay, let's also think about, the stigma that happened. There still is stigma, but let's just say what happened in terms of gays and being targeted and prejudiced against, and like and things like that, and a lot of injustice. However, what has also transpired since that time is that there's been a lot more of a growth in terms of, again, gay marriages, acceptance, legal protections. So I mean, we had to adjust as a society, like, okay, like this new, and back then we never came across this before. We misjudged it, by blaming it on, other people, and, spreading misinformation around. But then that got corrected. Okay, the right thing came in. Okay, yes, we are still fighting for justice for people right now and all like that. But I mean, ultimately, it created a lot of change. Okay, and so that is kind of where we are in society again. And not only that, we can actually go back bigger in sense of what is happening right now that hasn't happened for 100 years or anything like that. Okay, but we together as a collective society need to decide what we want to do. Do we want to jump through the gate? Did we learn our lessons? Are we going to fight for justice? Okay, what will make us happy? What do we need to, create in the real world? Okay, so that's basically all I have to say, I believe. Ultimately, this is a super exciting time. This is a huge ascension process, like that we're all going through. We are kind of like, being tested. People are getting, the justice that they deserve, one way or another. Okay, but it's about, you can do it. Okay, it might be hard, but I know that what I've learned is that, like, every single thing that has been challenging me, okay, to, like, step through that portal, okay, is that each and every time the exact thing happens that needs to happen. Okay, so always keep your mind open. Okay, it may not churn out exactly what you planned. Okay, this isn't the time to micromanage the universe. This is the time to go with the flow. We're being slowed down for a reason, to reflect. Okay, sometimes we need that extreme change, that tower moment to just crash down, so that we are encouraged to create that change. Anything less, extreme, or anything more subtle may not have, created that change that we really need to really accelerate. Okay, so what do you want to create in this world? What have you learned? What lessons do you not want to repeat again? Okay, this is not talking about like small little lessons. Okay, this is, potentially like big detours, getting with the wrong people and then wasting 2 years or something like that. Okay, so I mean, this is the time now to go after what you want. Okay, if there's something that your intuition has just been yelling at you, do it. Okay, again, with the Page of Pentacles, yes, she is, or the Princess of Pentacles, she is, again, immature, a little bit, a little wet behind the ears. Okay, but she's also earth energy, right? So she goes slow. She takes her time. She doesn't rush into things. Potentially some of these lessons are about not rushing into things, And so, whatever that lesson is for you, okay, I have faith in you. And this has been a very challenging time for all of us. But I mean, I really believe that there's going to be some wonderful things ahead of us. And what we're seeing right now is a preview. Okay, so Saturn went into Aquarius after being Capricorn for 2-ish years. Okay, but however, it retrogrades roughly around May. I wouldn't be surprised if that's roughly when we start, seeing a taper of the coronavirus and things. But the Saturn will then retrograde, and so we're just going to start seeing like a lot of those themes from when I was in Capricorn that's been happening over the last 2 years. We'll be seeing that coming into play. Like a lot of things about corruption and corporations, and like the Me Too movement was like big during that kind of time, right? And I think what we'll see is that this has been the preview, okay, about what we are going to see in the future. So it's like right now we're starting to see that balancing the scales, that karma, right? So do you learn your lessons now? Or, okay, I believe we'll have a second chance. Okay, again, like, okay, we're gonna go back into Capricorn up until December, okay, when you're gonna be like kind of reviewing things. Like if you went through this portal during this time, you're now kind of, reviewing of how you're kind of gonna juggle and, blend the new with the old, okay? If you didn't go through this portal, you didn't learn your lessons, or you kind of just laughed at the in the face of karma, or whatever the case is, I think that over these next few, from like May to December, it's going to be very challenging for people. Okay, they're going to get their karma. They're going to be like, oh shit, I should have left when I had the chance. Okay, it just broke down worse. I should have been honest when I needed to. Okay, I missed that opportunity. Okay, and then we're gonna, by December we'll be in Aquarius for the next 2 years in Saturn. Okay, and that is about, Saturn is about restriction, and karma and things like that. Aquarius is about social. It's about innovation. It is that like Doc Brown of Back to the Future type of thing, and it's innovation. And, especially with everything turning a little bit more online, the world is not going to be the same as we know it, and so it is up to you how much you adapt.